This week we got a really exciting show. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to be phenomenal. We're going to talk about insurance. Hello everybody, my name is Barry Horvath and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
And I am DeLynn Gaston. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So on today's show, it really isn't going to be a boring show. We have a very special guest and a very, very good friend of ours. This is Angel Cook, and a lot of you already know her. Ta-da! Angel Cook is with Tampa Bay Insurance, and she just knows everything there is to know about insurance.
So this is not going to be a show about insects and crickets, DeLynn?
No, we're not talking crickets.
Oh, because some people think insurance might be boring, but this might be some good information that you might want to listen to.
And I get overwhelmed when it comes to insurance stuff. Ugh, there's just too much going on with it.
Can you do that again?
But what I love about Angel is she puts everything into layman's terms so that even I can understand it.
All right, we'll be right back with Layman.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
We have with us today the lovely, the phenomenal, I love that word.
The talented.
Yeah, the very special, the very caring, the very giving, the one and only Angel Cook.
Wow. I know, what an intro, huh?
Wow, it's all downhill from here.
And Angel is with Tampa Bay Insurance, but she is really, really a great person in our community right here.
I know.
And she's just always involved in all these events. And
I was going to say, you might not, event coordinating is really not her full-time job.
Oh, she's really
It just feels like it sometimes, right?
She's really in a boring industry, as the crickets tell, But
I don't think it's so boring. I know a lot of people think it's. I don't think it's boring, and I know you don't think it's boring.
I don't think it's boring, but it is. Nobody likes to talk about it.
No, it's a necessary evil, and I always say, when I want to get friends to scatter from me and keep them away, I could say, look, here's my friend Angel. She has an insurance license, so it's a great way to clear a room. So,
it is.
No, she's really a good person and caring and giving. So we brought her on today to talk about what's going on in the industry and maybe get us updated because there's so much always changing in the insurance industry.
Yes.
And to buy that house that you want, you are going to need
insurance.
Yes, whether you
so
like
we're
it
going
or
to talk
not.
about homeowners insurance,
and
flood insurance, sinkhole insurance.
And it's, it's just a necessary evil. And when you are purchasing a home, the big consideration, one of the first things that when you're being pre-qualified is to look at what is the cost of that insurance.
Right.
How much is it going to cost annually, monthly, because that affects your debt ratio when you're purchasing your home. And a home that's maybe newer, that has lower premiums that she'll talk more about, versus an older home could be the difference of you qualifying for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 more
Right.
on a home purchase, and people don't think about that.
So that brings up a really good point, Angel. Let's start right there with when somebody is buying a house, and the first thing I know that we do on the mortgage side is we say to them, "Did you get any insurance quotes?" You might want to get some
and
insurance
they look
quotes.
at it and they go, "Why?"
Because
Why?
I know
Why?
they don't understand,
Why?
and when we're
Why?
qualifying them, we're using some guesstimated figures, and I try to explain to them in my limited knowledge that I do have. I know one thing that factors into it is the age of the house. If it's a 1920, because I had a client buy a 1928 house, the insurance on that was a lot more than any of us had
Yes.
anticipated versus if you're buying a house that is 2006. So that's one
Yes.
thing. What are the other factors that go into?
Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of factors that go into it. However, when somebody calls my office, or even when you call my office, or a realtor calls my office, there are underwriting questions. There are a lot of carriers in Florida. And in my business, thankfully, I am a broker, so I have access to a lot of companies. So my quote sheet looks a lot different than maybe somebody with one or two companies. So you have to qualify. A lot of things go into play. Year built, huge, zip code, where you're at.
Wow.
Are you on the west side, the east side, central Florida? Are you by water? Are you not by water? If you're in central Florida, but you're by a pond or a lake, not a big deal. If you're on the east side or the west side of Florida and you're by the Gulf or the Atlantic or whatever, it's a big deal. You are what's considered a higher risk area because of the wind zone for that.
Okay.
That's going to make a difference. Believe it or not,
So not because of flood, because of wind.
that is correct. And a
Aha.
lot of people will say immediately, I'm not in a flood
They
zone.
also-
And
Yeah.
we'll get to
Yep.
that because that you never say that to an
Right.
insurance agent. But that does make
say
a
that.
difference too as far as qualifying because some companies, if you are in a high risk flood zone, then they require you to carry a flood policy even if you don't have a mortgage. So that goes into play too. But also past claim history on the house that you're buying.
So a specific house, if it had a claims history, you see that, and that can affect the rate.
Well, here's the funny thing. I can't see it. It's
Right.
behind the scenes.
Ah,
So
it's that mystery when you hit give me a
Yes.
quote button.
that's right. And unfortunately, we really need the realtors to be able to hopefully dig also.
Okay.
Obviously, we go on the permit website. Depending on the county, the permits are very, very friendly. Some sites are friendly, some are not. If the repair had a permit pulled, it's very easy, obviously, then. But say you're buying a foreclosure, you're not going to know, the bank's not going to know. So then we run the risk. Some of my companies run what's called that claim history right during the quote process. Others, unfortunately, do not run it until after the policy is written and bound.
Oh, so their premium.
And some don't run it at
So
all.
then
so
what
can the premium
happens?
go up after they run the claims
Here's
history?
the biggest misconception. Auto insurance and home insurance is not the same. With auto insurance, if there's a claim, your price goes up, right? Homeowners insurance, it does not go up. It's a qualifying factor. So depending on what the claim is, it may not go up at all. It may be, it was a wind claim and it paid $8,000,
Right.
and you're allowed to have one act of God in 3 years. Some companies 3, some companies
Really?
5.
Oh.
But let's say
Something you don't hear every day. One act of God.
Gotta quit having- we have
Okay.
acts of God every day.
I was going to say, I'm hoping to see God every day.
So that's something to keep in mind. The very first thing I do is run that parcel ID, depending on what county it's in, because I'll know if it's a friendly site. If it's a sinkhole claim and you didn't know about it,
Sinkhole.
that will non-renew your policy. That will make you ineligible.
Okay.
Because even though you didn't place
so
the claim.
will you know about that right away, or do you know about that after the fact, or how does that
I have
work?
to be honest, in Pasco
Yeah,
County.
please be honest.
In Pasco County, Pinellas County, counties that have very easy permit websites, I look them up and I can tell.
Okay.
Some counties, I can't tell. I can't get to the permits to be able to see.
Okay.
If it was investigated for a sinkhole, a permit had to be pulled. I'll know right away in the quote process and be able to inform you and say, hey, this was investigated. If the realtor, most realtors are so good, they know, but some of them you can't. You don't know if it's a
There's the
foreclosure. They
key
don't
word.
know.
Are you one of the good realtors? You want to be most.
Now,
right?
so if it was investigated, but if what if the investigation shows no, there's no problem and there's no sinkhole? Does that come up too?
So glad you asked.
Thanks for asking, DeLynn.
Does not matter.
Oh, I was
This
afraid
is
you were going to say that.
important. I truly hope that changes. However, right now, an investigation's an investigation. Does not matter the
they
outcome.
had something
Really?
that made them invest, because I know for a while there, a lot of people were just
Yeah, they're just trying to get their house
they were
paid off.
exactly. They wanted to get that big
we got a
TV.
sinkhole.
They wanted to get all that kind of remember it has that changed. I mean, I think it's changed that people aren't doing that as much anymore.
Well, people don't
because-
have the coverage to be able to do that anymore.
Ah.
All right, we've got a lot of great information coming right back at you. Stay tuned for more crickets.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going your way. And you wanna make it last forever. We'll keep it together, 'cause it keeps getting better. Whoa, whoa.
So much good information so far, but we got more for you because
I
we got
know.
Angel Cook right here, the one, the only.
And I'm just like chomping at questions because all of this stuff is so good. Frequently when we're qualifying someone, and I know when the real estate agents out there are qualifying people and taking people around, insurance, how much it's going to be, is one of the really big factors because, it's kind of like, okay, are they buying, a house that has $3,000 a year in taxes or $800 a year in taxes? Same thing with insurance. Are they buying a house that has $3,000 a year in insurance or $800 a year in
And
insurance?
just like in the mortgage and real estate part, I always tell clients, do you have a competent, good agent
Right.
to work with that can help you work through this? Because there can be challenges
Right.
that somebody that has experience is going to need you to walk you through. And
Because
I'm
it can
sure
make
there's,
or break somebody
I
qualifying
know
for a
Angel's
particular
good, and I'm
house.
not just promoting her because she's sitting next to me, but there's a lot of great agents out there.
Yes.
Just make sure you find one that knows what they're doing that can
Right.
get you through all the challenges that may be ahead. So
And not always the cheapest insurance.
No.
It's not about the cheapest insurance.
speaking of the cheapest insurance,
That's what I was just going to say. So
what is going on with Citizens? I got to tell you, I went online last night.
had to go there.
I just did. I pulled up Citizens. Do you know what I found?
what did you
I
find?
found these blogs. I find all these things. It's pages and pages and pages of complaints and how they're dysfunctional and how their billing stinks and how they don't pay their claims and all this stuff. And I know you write for Citizens, so
I
you can
do.
be nice. So what, people don't know, Citizens was originally brought into the state to help bail it out of our...
JUA it was called.
Yeah.
Actually,
When
I will
first
tell
moved
you,
to Florida.
Tell us
it
about
was
Citizens.
JUA.
Yeah.
And the only reason why Citizens became Citizens is because of the major hurricane that we had, and companies
Oh.
started pulling out. And people who generally
Talk about crickets. There was no one
that's
left
right. There was
writing homeowners
literally
insurance.
nobody left.
So there was no.
There was
from these big
nowhere.
storms that were devastating.
In 2004, remember, every other weekend we had a hurricane.
And actually, Citizens was before 2004.
Right.
Hurricane
They were here
Andrew
when I
came
moved
in.
here.
It was
Right.
devastating. What people don't understand is, and yes, there are complaints, but I will tell you, shock and awe,
One
you
or
will
two?
never, ever, ever find an insurance company that doesn't have a complaint because it's all relative.
Right.
Did you get the check or didn't you get the check?
Right.
Right. I know.
They make
You're
it
never
easier.
going to get a good one going, oh my goodness,
You're
they
right.
gave me the check.
You're right.
I didn't have to prove
thing.
anything.
That's right. Here's the thing with Citizens. Keep in mind, it was not formed for the good risk. It wasn't.
Right.
So if you are with them and you don't want to go to another company because they're $150 or $200 more, that is your decision. It is not Citizens' fault.
Right.
Citizens' policies are black and white. There is no broad coverage. You either are or are not covered for it. Now, qualifying for other carriers. Did you have a bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession in the last 5 years? Because most, not all, I have some carriers that does not come into play, but a lot of them, it does.
So your credit
your credit
affects
makes a
your
difference.
insurance premium.
Yes,
As
and the
well.
qualifying.
Wow.
So to go to Citizens,
So-
absolutely it might be less money, or you might have no choice. You have to,
Okay.
because there's nobody left
Okay.
available.
But there are other options out there, and if you have a Citizens policy, maybe it's time to review, because they want you to go away, don't they?
They do, and that's another a great transition to go into with what is happening
Right.
with Citizens.
Right.
We are
Because we've
very,
heard a lot
very
about
fortunate.
this. Yeah.
Yes. As much as I don't like to have to write into Citizens, it's a necessary company to have to have. It has its purpose. It really does have its purpose. However, they have created the clearinghouse, which means as an agent, we must shop around. It forces us to not just place a risk in Citizens when really they could have another option. So if you're with Citizens, you're going to get these assumption letters. I know you're wanting to talk about this, Barry.
Oh, yeah.
These assumption letters. And it's just like in the mortgage business how mortgages are sold.
right.
Well, that's what Citizens is doing. It is electronic. Okay, it happens automatically. You're going to get this letter. Congratulations, you have been assumed by ABC Insurance Company, and typically it's going to be an insurance company you've never heard of. Okay, it is an assumption company that has agreed with Citizens to unload some of their book of business, and it's to help take that risk off of them because
Okay.
they have so much exposure here in Florida, of course.
Wow.
You have to be careful. Call your agent. That letter,
Agent, not
yes.
the letter. Agent.
Agent.
Call your
I
agent.
cannot stress that enough because most people stop reading right there in that first paragraph. It sounds like you've already been transferred. When you read that first line, it will say, congratulations, ABC Insurance Company has agreed to take on your policy as of, and it will be backdated. The date will actually be a few days before that letter was written, okay? So most people stop reading right there. That's it. Must have already transferred over. Keep reading. You have an opt-out. You can flip that page over in some cases.
And
Other
read the
cases,
fine
it's a
print.
separate letter, and you can opt out to stay with Citizens. Call your agent. In
She
some
mentioned
cases,
call your agent.
yes,
I
I
think-
cannot stress that enough. There is no redos with this letter. You miss that deadline, they don't care. You're going to that other company. And in some cases, my clients do not qualify for that other company. Please keep in mind that until you reach that deadline, they're not allowed to look at the underwriting of that address. They don't know that that property had a sinkhole investigation. And guess what? Per their guidelines, they don't take homes that had a sinkhole investigation. What if your roof is 18 years old and with Citizens it's allowed to be 25 years old, but yet with that company it's only allowed to be 15? Guess what you're gonna get when
Dun,
you
dun,
renew with
dun.
them? Call your agent. Call your agent.
So wait a minute. This is scary. So somebody has Citizens. They get a letter in the mail saying that you've been assumed. Congratulations. They make it look like a good.
That was my
like,
scary thing. You're really far away. I can't even rag on you over there.
But it makes it sound like it's a good thing, and they're already, it's like those pre-approved things. You're already pre-approved or whatever to go, but technically they might not be. So the person thinks, okay, I'm going to have this insurance company now, and all the background stuff's already done. And then they find out, okay, they had a bankruptcy 3 years ago or something, so they now don't qualify for that company that Citizens put them into. What happens then? Their insurance gets canceled?
Well, I have to be honest, in some cases,
Oh, there
yes.
she is, going to be honest again.
I know.
Honest angel.
I hate to say it, but in some cases, yes. If it is a major underwriting, that company has the right to say, we're getting off of the risk. In some cases, they're required by the contract that they signed with Citizens, they must keep your policy for a certain amount of time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Okay. And then they will cancel you. It is much harder to get back into Citizens. You cannot change your mind afterwards. You will be obligated. We can re-quote it and try to rewrite you back into Citizens. But
So if people get that letter, they need to really read the whole thing.
Call your agent.
Call your agent.
We need to wrap up here, and so much great information.
Yeah.
One more quick question, though. When they get homeowners insurance, is an inspection always required?
no.
Okay, thank you. We're going to break.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Okay, so we just learned that you don't necessarily need a home inspection to get a policy bound. Is that
Necessarily. Notice
Ne-
the word
yeah.
necessarily
there's our
need.
disclaimer. Read the fine print. Call your agent. This
They
is
are
something else.
recommended.
Call your
though.
agent.
Did we mention call your agent?
Yes.
Do we
What?
have Angel's number like flashing?
So tell us, what do we need to get a quote? I mean, somebody's
Yes.
home shopping, they're out there, they're so excited, they go, I
Right.
found the house for $100,000. Well, guess what? The insurance is $2,500
That's
a
right.
year.
Right, and I know a lot of times the realtors make the phone calls to
That
the
is
agents,
right.
right?
And I have a lot of realtors that are, it's wonderful to work hand in hand and side by side because I know what to expect from them.
Wonderful.
But they'll just email me and say, primary home, purchase price,
Right.
here's the address. And they know that I'm going to run it from there. I'm going to run the flood zone. I'm going to run the most competitive price. I'm going to pull the permits, see if I can find out if it's a newer roof. Now,
See
every
if you can find out
company is
if it's a
different.
sinkhole claim.
That is correct. Every company is different that I work with, depending on the county, again, and the age of the home. Not necessarily do you need a 4-point inspection or even a wind mitigation. If your house was built 2002 and newer, you do not need a wind mitigation. Wind mitigation is what gives you the
I
credit
need to write
for
this stuff
having a
down.
newer
What was
roof.
it, 2002?
2002.
Write it down.
Because I need to know
Yes.
these things.
Hey,
Okay,
Lynn, I have a
2002.
tip for you. Listen to me. Okay, read my lips. Call your
I
agent.
know.
Call your agent.
I know we haven't said that yet. But, so the first thing, with the realtors, they know that when I send the quotes back, I'm going to say, here's your flood zone determination. Yes or no, it's in a special flood hazard zone. Here is the quote. Based on this quote, your client must not have foreclosure, bankruptcy, repossession in 5 years. They must not have claims in 5 years.
So
the home must not
repossession
have.
counts against them.
Yes, it does.
This is like underwriting a loan, DeLynn.
Yes.
It is.
When you call my office, say you are not a realtor, you're just calling for your own home, you found a home, I have a quote sheet that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to ask you all the specifics on the house. I will look it up on Zillow, Realtor.com, but it's important that I get your information because not always is that accurate. You don't know how old it is.
So when you give a quote, do you actually run credit on people or not
No,
necessarily?
I do not. I ask the credit questions up front. I only have a few companies that give a discount for what your credit score is.
Okay.
Otherwise, most of the companies, it's just qualifying. I need to know, do you have a foreclosure, bankruptcy, repossession in 5 years?
So there's not like
because I won't even quote that company because it doesn't matter the reason. You're out of the running for that company.
Okay.
I need to move on to
So
something
there's not
else.
like a credit score minimum. You have to have at
No.
least such and such for a credit score.
And that's something very important to know. Let's say you have not had a foreclosure, bankruptcy,
Right.
repossession in 5 years, but maybe your credit score is low.
Right.
That just means you won't get the discount, but you're still eligible for
Okay.
that company. Totally different.
What is, just silly question, just
Mm-hmm.
for my own wisdom and stupid knowledge here. If you had a repossession or a bankruptcy or foreclosure, why does that make your homeowner's insurance cost more? Why did they consider you a high risk? Because
Yeah, that's a good
you know,
question.
I mean, the house is the
I
house.
know.
If the
That's a
wind
good
blows my
thought.
house down, it didn't blow down faster or more often
Right,
because I had a
That is
foreclosure,
right.
Right.
I actually get that all of the time with good reason.
See, she
exactly
gets calls all
why.
the time, just like you.
Yes. It's very good because with insurance, you don't get insurance. You don't get an insurance policy on credit. Okay, you have to pay for it or you don't have it. It is
Right.
what it is. The check clears or it doesn't. However,
Black
the
mark.
gods that be say statistically those with better credit is a better risk. And insurance is all about risk. Believe it or not, even with auto insurance, they run a soft hit on your credit. If you do not have average or above average credit, those with above average credits, they're going to get a better premium.
Really?
Soft
Statistically,
hit. Note she said
Yeah.
soft hit. That
it
means
does
it's
not go against your credit score.
Ta-da.
Very important.
But pay your bills and you'll get better insurance premium.
Right.
That is correct.
You get a discount.
Yes. And just to get back to your inspection question,
Mm-hmm.
most homes 30 years or older, that's where your cutoff is on that 4-point inspection.
Okay.
Is 30 years.
Okay.
Some companies it's 40 years, but a lot of companies are 30. So that's where you're going to be
So more
walking
than
that
30
line.
years, you're going to want the
Generally
4-point.
a 4-point inspection, not insurance agents do not want the home inspection. It's very important to know the difference. Home inspection is very important for your purchasing and what's wrong with the house or what needs to be touched up. We don't want to know those things. We want to know the 4-point inspection.
And or
4
wind
points.
And what are
Mitigation,
the
and that's it,
what are the
right?
4 points?
Plumbing, heating, air conditioning, your electrical, very important electrical, that electrical panel, and then the roof.
Okay.
So those are very important. Little piece of information, get a citizen's 4-point inspection. Just because you're not going with the citizen's company, all companies take the citizen's 4-point inspection form because it's more detailed. So then you don't have to worry about getting the wrong one. It will always be the correct one.
And your home inspector, most home inspectors do the 4-point inspections, correct?
Yes, they do.
So that's who you call. There's not somebody out there called a 4-point inspection company. You have to go to your home,
The same
You can use
inspector.
any
inspector
licensed
person.
inspection
And usually
company.
they're
double
already,
check with them,
so
and
it's
then
a good time to
tell
do it. They're
them
already
to
out
use
there.
the citizen's form.
But
Yes,
it's only
and-
required when it's 30 years or older?
In most cases,
Another-
there is always
more
an
fine print, my
exception.
fine
That's
print.
right. There's always exceptions to that rule. In general, 30 years or older. Some companies will let you go 40 years or older.
Interesting.
And older. Wind mitigation, just real quick. Have the roof replaced. Say the home was built in 1986. The roof's been replaced, say 2001. Get a wind mitigation
It'll save you
because
money.
it very well could save you money. It's worth the cost of the inspection.
She's so careful. She should be in politics.
You know, I was just gonna. My mind's gonna. See, I told you.
And
this
just
is not
one other,
boring.
if your home inspector says, can you send me the wind mitigation form, don't use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, a lot of great information with Angel Cook here from Tampa Bay Insurance.
I told you we can go
Appreciate
on
all
and on
this.
and on.
Yes, we can just go on and on. So we'll be right back.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Sugar pie, honey pie. Oh, we're back.
Singing.
We're back.
Oh, sorry about
Our
that.
entertainment, our commercial.
Yeah, we got our own little thing going on. All right, we had one more. We're going to wrap up, but we had
Yeah.
one more so important question. DeLynn,
Roofs. You mentioned roofs. How old?
It's a roof.
Roof. How old can a roof be?
Shingle roof, again, many companies, many different requirements. On average, 15 years old for a shingle roof.
Okay.
Okay? 20 years old for a couple of my companies. After 20 or older, you're going straight to Citizens. You hit the 25-year mark, even with Citizens, you hit that 25-year mark, you need a roof certification inspection. I will tell you, I cringe when I have to tell people that, because not only does that certification state what year the roof was put on, it states if there's any leaks, any rolling or
okay.
lifting of the shingles, and then the most important part, which almost never passes, it must say life expectancy over 3 years. So if the inspector puts 3 years or more, or 3 to 4 years, or less than 3 years, you're not going to qualify. Stop right there. You're done. We must go to excess lines carrier, which is higher money, higher risk, and then they're going to
And lesser
exclude the roof too.
coverages.
Yeah, thanks for
And
making
they're
my
going
day.
to
You're welcome.
exclude the roof too.
All right, let's talk about upcoming events we got going on. DeLynn, what do we have going on?
Always have
I
stuff
know.
going on.
Well, obviously the biggest event coming up, September 29th. All lanes are sold out, but we do have some spectator spots. It's Bowling for
Bowling for Boobs, which is at Lane Glow Bowling in Newport Richey on Old 54, because there's two. This is the one that's on Old 54. Like Barry said, we have all of the lanes already sold out, but we have plenty of spectators. Well, I don't know.
No,
It's
don't
plenty.
say we're
Actually,
plenty.
we don't have plenty.
We have limited spectators there. Your political
And you know,
disclaimer.
it's
That's
only
right.
$10. And Angel, of course, is on our committee with us. It's only $10 for a spectator ticket. So
and you
please.
get fed and you're allowed to wear a bra for $10. Where else can you go? Put your bra on and be okay in public for $10. That's what I
That's
said.
right.
I would not plan on just showing up that night of the event to pay your $10. I have a hunch it is going to sell out ahead of time. So if you want to do that,
the fire marshal will be there, I'm sure.
you can go on our website.
Yep, to www.wpba.biz. So
And
go online.
purchase a spectator ticket.
Yes, do that today. Don't wait, okay?
And by the way, that $10 includes food. We're going to have all kinds of great
Where else
food
can
there
you get
too.
fed and wear a bra?
And like make fun of all of your business associates in the
Yes.
community.
Okay, what
That's
else do we
really
have
worth
going
the $10.
You know, pictures,
on? All
lots
right, we
of
also
pictures.
have October 2nd, we have a Fiesta Friday
Fiesta
coming
Friday.
up. 2157 Springs Boulevard. Come on down. It's happy hour. It's fun. It's free. If it's free,
Right.
it's for,
It's for me.
yeah, of course, and a new kitchen. That's never free. Did you get one yet?
No.
Oh, that was another show, wasn't it? So come on down, and we also have the Rays bus trip right then. There are just a couple seats left
That
if you
same
want to
day.
get on it. That's $45. Get with us if you want to go on that trip. It's a lot of fun. Yes, and we also have some kind of event coming up at
Young
Richie's.
Frankenstein, the Ritchie Suncoast Theater, downtown Newport Richie. And of course, dear to me because my son is in it.
Of course he
Opening
is.
night is
That's so cool.
Thursday.
That's so cool.
It runs from September 10th until September 29th on the weekends, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday matinees, I believe. And so reach out to the Ritchie Suncoast Theater, downtown Newport Richie, and get your tickets for that because it's going to be great.
One more big date, because we could go on for the rest of the year with
I know.
dates. October 6th. If you are not certified and in the real estate business for the down payment assistance program, you got to come to this. It's going to be an opportunity for you to get your certification. Get on Pasco County's website, October 6th at 2150 Seven Springs Boulevard. I think it's going to start at 10:30.
Right.
We'll firm up the time with you, but please show up for that. It's a lunch and learn. We'll feed you, and you'll get trained and certified.
And
for
if you
all
didn't
the
know,
down
you do
payment
have
program.
to recertify every year.
Yes,
It used
once
to
a
just be
year.
once, but now they have it every single year you have to recertify.
Yes.
If you want any more information on any of this stuff, because I know we rattled the dates and the times and everything pretty fast, by all means, feel free to email us, reach out to us, and we'll answer any questions.
DeLynn will call. If you text her at 2 a.m., that's her favorite time.
Yeah, no, that's
Let me give
him.
you her
I
number.
got a
Oh, yeah.
cutoff on my phone.
All right. Thank you, Angel, for being on
Thank
with
you,
us
thank
today.
you.
Such great information. We could go on for days with her.
Share us,
Like us.
all that stuff,
Yes,
LinkedIn,
get us-
Facebook, Twitter, get us out there.
She's looking at me like, what are you going to say? I know. Get us out on YouTube, Facebook. Just share us out there with your friends. And don't forget, call your agent.
That's right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We are today and every day.
Moving forward.
We'll see everybody next week.
Call
Bye-bye.
your agent.
Call your agent.